tons, I mean, hundreds of petals per flower. That's what a hydrangea is all about. But here's what you need to know. We started this season with 15,000 of these plants. We have 300 plants left, and it's the final quantities of the season, plus the price goes up at the end of the day today. So on your mark, get set, go. Place your order. Go to QVC.com. 300 plants left. If you want more than one, get two, get three, however many you want. But the key here is that you're getting beautiful hydrangeas. And Cottage Farms always says gardening made easy. So Katie, how easy is it to grow a hydrangea?
You know what? Some hydrangeas can be tricky. So that's why we've picked this Blue Echo, because I think a lot of people, they're writing me on Facebook, my hydrangea's not blooming. And sometimes it's because you picked the wrong plant for the wrong place. We're all about, first of all, choosing plants for you that are easy to grow, that will perform and look like this in your garden, but also giving you that advice on right plant, right place. Because hydrangeas, some of them like full sun, some of them like shade. They all like acidic soil though, so that's what we'll talk about in a minute. But that's the one thing here is we really want to make sure you're successful. So we've chosen a plant that is going to bloom prolifically for you in most parts of the country.
Now, where should we plant this then?
So this one's going to be, depending on where you live. If you live in the north, you can give it a little bit more of a sunnier spot. So that's 4 hours of sun, avoiding that midday sun. You live in the south, I will urge you to plant it with a little bit more shade, maybe 3 hours of shade, and that will help not burn out the leaves and help really give those blooms that vibrant color, which, should we talk about the color? Because I love this. It's such a fun hydrangea.
Tell me what happens. What happens
well, this
with
one looks purple, right? Doesn't this color look a little bit purple? So many hydrangeas will end up being this color purple if you don't do anything to the soil. Depends on where you live, because this is one of those magic hydrangeas. In my house with a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, we like to make magic out of nature. And so the more acidic your soil, the more blue it will be. The more alkaline, the more pink it will be. But guess what you can do? You can change it. So if you grab a bottle of, and now this is a different one, this is our fertilizer for acid-loving plants. You can use this on blueberries and hollies and other plants as well. But for hydrangeas, all hydrangeas like acid-loving soil. So if you have other hydrangeas and they're starting to leaf out, right now is the time to start fertilizing them, by the way. And more acid will help you get to this blue color. Less acid, you'll get more of this pink color.
And interestingly, if you buy a couple of these different ones, you could actually do a little different soil at each plant so that you get both colors, right?
Absolutely. And who knows, the soil in our yards is so crazy. It just be naturally done that way. But I love that you say a couple of them, Mary Beth, because hydrangeas, they get lonely when they're, you saw in those pictures, they look so much better in a hedge format. So even if you're thinking about containers, which this hydrangea is great for containers, it's more compact, only gets to be at its height about 4 feet wide and tall. So you put it in a container, it's going to be perfect side by side out on your patio. But I'm saying this hedge look of a hydrangea is really special. It is why I think we call it America's favorite flower. This absolutely, round globular shape, flower shape with all these tons of petals. It is such a unique flower that looks great outside, in hedges, in containers, and if you cut them and bring them indoors, that will look good for years.
Wow. And by the way, now we are down to 150 of these left. We started with 15,000 at the beginning of the season. We had 300 left when we came on the air. Now 150 of these left. So quickly go to the phone, place your order. This price goes up at the end of the day. The other thing I wanted to ask is, what's the bloom season for these hydrangeas? Like, when will they start blooming, and tell about when?
So hydrangeas are summer bloomers. Now, it all depends on where you live, but for the most part, they're summer bloomers. But I'm really glad you asked that, because I actually call hydrangeas a 4-season flower. This is what you're going to get in the summer. You get the most vibrant colors, that pink, that purple, or that blue. Remember, that's all just one plant that can do all 3 of those things. But you'll get that vibrant color in the summer. Then in the fall, these flowers will fade to a little bit of a dustier hue. So they'll get a little bit dustier. And then in the winter, if you don't cut them off, which I urge you not to, they'll turn this parchmenty brown and be like a metal sculpture in your garden. So you've got the green leaves in spring, the bold flower colors in summer, a muted color in fall, and then this metal sculpture in your garden all winter long. these really are a plant that offers you 4 seasons of interest.
So you don't have to deadheads, you know, cut off the heads, right?
You don't have to.
Or
Now
should you
is the
do that
time when,
before spring?
yeah, so I
Okay.
would say you do that either now, depending on where you live, that late
Yeah.
winter, early spring.
Yeah.
You just cut off the heads because you
Okay.
don't want to cut off any of these bloom on that new wood, so you don't want to cut off the
Right.
bud.
Right. Oh my gosh. I love hydrangeas. They are beautiful bushes. The key here is that Cottage Farms makes it easy. It comes with the growing guide. You're going to see everything that you need to know. Never ever throw these away. In fact, you should write on them where you planted these so that if for any reason something happens and you know you sell your house or whatever, then somebody knows where you've planted them. It's by the oak tree on the left-hand side, whatever it is. But anyway, take advantage of that. And also don't forget to go to Cottage Farms and look for the acidic fertilizer that you should use for hydrangeas. Coming up in a few minutes, we've got something else coming your way, and that is